go for something completely
Halo
different. Like
guys,
Claude, I
kali
think it's
ini
still
AP
open.
Bren
That is actually pretty
melawan
good here with the
Hombois.
tanky picks, but there's
Ya guys ya,
a Phobias here that they have to deal with. They're gonna
di
be
game
locking
yang
in the
pertama.
Claude for the last pick here for the Homeboys, which I think is a
Apakah yang
direct
menang
answer
cuy?
to the tanky front line that the side of AP
Oke guys
Bren
ya,
has. But I'm just a little bit worried that there is gonna be the demonic
langsung
force
aja
here
kita
coming
fokus
out
ke
from
lane
the side
of
of AP Bren,
Dawn.
which is not gonna make it easy for the Claude.
When it comes to these objectives to change so much. Land of Dawn, game number 1 in this second match of the day. AP Bren and Homebois. Owgwen though, taking some damage already.
Kita guys dulu ya guys ya.
Yeah, this is classic moves from the side of Homebois.
Kita
What
cek
they do
quality
actually in the
videonya
early
dulu.
game is make sure that they
Oke cuy,
poke,
aman cuy.
say in the mid or even the gold, make sure that they poke them heavily so that they can go back
AP
and
Bren,
kind of recharge and reset before like objectives. And even
Homebois.
Xorn here, being super aggressive here up against AP Bren, which is something that they actually managed to do even in the group stages. And so far, we haven't seen any of these like any early game takedowns so far, but it's a matter of like pokes from both sides.
And you know, with that, I like the fact too that Homebois dealing with the poke, if they want to, dealing with the range, they at least have a couple options to get out, right? Like the purifiers are there. Nets is definitely going to need it. He's going to have to kind of break some ankles here too. Okay, I mean, like he's got to have the timing on the BMI on point, which you know, again, he's done many times. He's obviously he's gone through the ropes here, right? Obviously, in the Philippines, so nothing new for him. But for the rest of the team, they kind of got to give Nets enough time to build up to where it needs to be. So that leaves it up to Udil and the rest of the team, you know, to be able to scale up, to be able to hold the grounds down throughout this portion of the game. And now that this subjective is going to be up here, you're going to see it kind of unfold as both teams really try to get that level 4 available and work around this. But you can already see the positioning happening here. KyleTzy will go ahead and start the turtle, but it's spotted out, right? Chibi's just around the corner for here, so they're going to go ahead and go with this turtle dance first portion of this game.
The contest ya cuy ya.
KyleTzy already here. Oh, Udil got in that demonic force as well.
Contest,
Gonna be
contest.
KyleTzy starting it up. Turtle already at 1/4
Martis
HP. It's gonna be
dapat.
Chibi picking it up for the side of Homebois. There's the appraiser's rat from KyleTzy. Xorn gonna be able to get out, but it still goes on.
Udil.
KyleTzy gonna be able to pop in that demonic force and lock it out the first time. There's still not gonna be any casualties just yet, but AP Bren, or rather the side of Homebois, starting it off real strong by picking up that first turtle of the game.
Yeah, it's good they get that, right? I mean, at least
Yang
they're
menang ini
able
lawan
to pull through
RRQ
that.
guys.
No one goes down, so no first blood just yet. And, you know, you're going to have to kind of see
Semifinal
these
guys ya.
rotations happen now from Homebois because with a little bit of
Apakah
this, you know, it's
Indo
like a baby
PH
step,
menyala?
honestly, at this point. But that's what I was saying. If they can secure the first turtles of the game,
Indo
maybe even
PH
all
menyala ke
three, that
habangku.
gives them this minor advantage where they really have to go toe-to-toe with AP Bren into that first Lord. And even with that, right now, look how aggressive they are on this side of the jungle of AP Bren.
Siapa kada yang dapat tuh?
KyleTzy gonna be soaking up the
dapat
damage.
cuy, mati
Not
cuy.
gonna go for the full commit. Look at Chibi here. He's actually 2 levels ahead of KyleTzy here. And this is exactly what you need to do, right? If you're a Martis, that is so good in the early game. And if you're talking about the light switch, this Martis also kind of has that light switch, right? Once it reaches mid to late game, it's already at par with everybody. It's fine. It does not have that kind of early game snowball, I'd say,
Early
once
game.
it reaches that mid to late game. So they have to watch out for that here to Homebois, and they gotta capitalize this early game that they have.
Yeah, we'll see how they play around that once again. 30 seconds away from this turtle.
Ajar.
AP Bren, though,
Wah,
are
nggak
going to
dapat.
get caught out here.
Tapi
KyleTzy
tetap
forced to use a
mati juga
retribution,
deh
and
guys
that's
ya.
gonna be Sepat picking up the first blood. Here comes KyleTzy too. The rescue,
first
but taking a
blood.
lot of damage. That's Chibi gonna go in for that decimate and take him down. Homeboy starting it off real strong here. And this is what they have done up against AP Bren in the group stage. Just pressure out the
Yang
XP
hadir
lane, and
jangan
if
lupa
you
ya guys
notice
ya.
it, like they're just letting that gold lane side.
Tekan
Let's take a
like,
look at the instant
comment,
replay
and
here.
subscribe dulu guys.
Yeah, so as it all unfolded, once again, you know,
Oke
it's just
cuy.
the scaling that's been in favor right now of Homebois. The fact, too, like you pointed it out, the Martis has been just farming up, doing well. And that's another turtle now taken as well. So the pace, the tone, it's Homebois
Masih
so far.
belum
And
nge-contest cuy.
it's AP
Pen.
Bren finding themselves 3,000 gold
02.
behind And this is
14
quite,
ke 11.
not what people are used to seeing from
Beda
AP Bren right now.
3.000
It's
gol lah.
Homeboys just kind of giving it to them. And
Masih
so
bisa sih
with that,
dikejar tuh.
if they can keep the gas going without getting too reckless, that's where Homeboys has to keep it together. This is that play style we were talking about earlier, from the Malaysian region, really kind of
From the
paying dividends
Malaysian.
here. And meanwhile, Nets has just been able to farm up. That's the best
Malaysia
scenario
lawan
for
PH
for
cuy.
him. Have that gold lane experience.
Homebois
Hold on, they're going to go
Malaysia.
for it again.
AP Bren PH ya guys ya.
KyleTzy is going to be starting up. There is going to
Filipina.
be the demonic force, but he's taking up too much damage. KyleTzy and the rest of the gang forced to back away. Not going to go for more. And that's going to be AP Bren backing it away safe and sound. 3-0 right now. And
Indo-PH-nya
so
lah
far,
abangku.
Homeboys are leading. Looking at the advantage too. Chibi is levels ahead here of against KyleTzy, who's just level 7. He's already level 10 here. Interesting choice of emblem too here, Naisu. I think this is one of the first few times I actually
Sorry
have
guys,
seen this
ngantuk aku
impure
guys.
rage on a Martis. Usually, like you'd go for a quantum
Kalian
charge.
bawahnya.
How's this different from the
Oh.
quantum charge here, Naisu?
Dari laning
Thought you were about to call me,
unggul Hombois sih.
pretty nice you.
Di game pertama ini.
Anyway, the impure rage for the Martes, I think either way, you can be very flexible with these emblems. And of course, I don't think we actually get a glimpse of, the tier 1 and tier 2, what they're rolling with, but it works, right? And for the most part, it's a little bit of that extra damage. And then of course, you can roll around with the scaling as well that comes with it. And it's kind of debatable. Some players, they like to go even with the assassin emblems, like some of them still go with that, and they can work around it. But right now, whether it's quantum charge, whether it's this impure rage, he's making it work, and that's what counts for Chibi because he's doing it against a very renowned jungler and team. So now third turtle's going to be up here. They're going to get in position for this one as they break through. Udil holding on to the demonic force himself.
That's something that we've seen classic moves gone out from Homeboys. I've seen this in the group stage where HapyTzy and Udil were going at it. Turtle's going to be reset here. Udil taking a lot of the damage, though, coming out from Pheww. Let's see. I think they're just kind of... It's going to be KyleTzy. Okay, they're going to go for Xorn here. Flickers out. Udil's going to be the first target here. Nice setup there coming out from the Minotaur. It's going to be KyleTzy picking up that kill. He's still going to go for more here. KyleTzy's going to get taken down by Chibi. Getting shut down there by Super Marco, who's kind of free hitting everyone, getting in that double kill. 2 kills for the gold laner of AP Bren.
Itulah makanya dia ikut suka Brody guys.
Just say it.
Bahaya dia cuy.
You can't get too reckless. Pressing on the gas here, Homeboy was, but this is the punishment I'm talking about, right? Yes, they're still ahead. They're holding on to a lead. That's great. But they can't let that happen again. And the fact, too, that Super Marco got those 2 kills, and now he's got the 2 items. He's got the blade, he's got the malefic roar. He's going to be a threat. He's going to be kind of tough to deal with because right now, Phew's still building up, right? He's not where he needs to be on the Novaria just yet. He's trying to scrap up a little bit more gold to get to the items that he needs. And also a DHS being picked up by Super Marco. So now he's got the 3. That was a huge kind of power spike in this last minute that he just went through. And this is what I'm talking about, where this usually happens in the case before that first Lord coming up. So in under a minute, it's going to be there. And Super Marco, if he is not taken care of, if he's not focused down, he's going to be a threat to the Homeboys. So they just got to keep it together right now. The lead they have, work around it, try to get some turrets if they can. But you can see this. That's exactly why Owgwen, for the most part, was just kind of playing himself around here from Super Marco. So Homeboys, they want to make a rotation down bot.
Owgwen here has a flicker. It's going to be Udil taking a lot of damage. Stored apart memories. Is it enough? It's going to... As he takes out Udil from the backside, Sepat's still going to be going for it. Appraiser's Rat there being popped in by KyleTzy. Knock up from the backside. Sepat's going to get taken down, but HapyTzy still going to go for it. Demonic Force to fill up as Chibi and the rest of the Homeboys are going to be running away from it. There's going to be Astral Echo too from Pheww. Everybody's real low, but they won't be committing for more as they are going to be setting themselves up against this Lord. This should be a free Lord here for the side of AP Bren. Homeboys are chunked down to half.
Did I not
AP
say
Bren nih guys ya, dapat tahu
that
deh.
before the first lord,
That
there is a
switch.
play. There is a
Yep.
play
Ditukar
that
atas.
AP Bren does, and this time it wasn't even on their will. It was Homeboys that tried to make the play in the bottom side, but Owgwen knew that that would probably
Homebois.
happen with the pressure they were putting on that turret. They see it coming, and they fight. And Super Marco, like I said, he has
Skornya
the
5
three items
sama.
needed. It didn't
Beda
matter.
golnya
Udil took a couple hits,
imbang-imbang ya
got
guys ya.
marked up, and then torn apart, right? Like that's
Sudah
what
mendekati
happened.
cuy,
And now
dikejar
the first lord
AP
is
Bren.
secured. I've been talking about this for months now that AP Bren, this
AP
is their
Bren
timing,
mendekati
this is what they
gol.
like to do.
Golnya sudah
And this is now
imbang-imbang.
garnering themselves to a point where it's even economy-wise. But still, Super Marco is huge, and he just picked up a wind of nature. So that gets a little bit more dicey for
Super
Homeboys
Marco.
because one, it's like, how do we get to him? And Pheww is also building up really well now at this point. Another turret's going to fall here. So huge space advantage now for AP Bren to work around with.
AP Bren.
Yes, it's only one turret against Homeboys, but the power play that they're having right now is huge in comparison to the past couple minutes.
Rose Gold Meteor has been
Wah,
picked up too
dikejar
here
cuy.
by Sepat. I'm thinking about what
Yang
the
tadinya
Homeboys needs to
unggul
do at
Homebois
this
sekarang
point
dah
exactly.
dibalikin
Definitely the
keadaan
shutdown
cuy.
on Super Marco will be big. The shutdown goal is gonna have to
Super
be there.
Marco.
But at the same time, like AP Bren has already taken back the space that Homeboys has been taken in for the first few games. And so far, like at this point, right, who are gonna burst down? HapyTzy, KyleTzy, all these players already have items that they need. And at this point, like Super
Nggak
Marco
bisa
can also
dijaga.
sustain whatever Homeboys is gonna be throwing out since he already has a wind of nature,
Lapu-lapu
like
ya.
what you pointed out. So it's either up to Nets, who has been
Lapu-lapu
quietly
payah
farming
dijagalin
actually
cuy.
so far for the side of Homeboys, but
Yeah.
hasn't been able to pop any of those blazing duets yet.
Sekali
Well, I would
ultimate
say
dia
like
dikejar
Nets
dia.
is still in a good position to have, some impact here as we get in further into this game. And that is something that AP Bren knows very well. It's something that Super Marco himself, when he's on the claw, does. And you can see it. Nets is already putting the pressure there. And AP Bren is going to respond exactly
AP
to
Bren.
that, right? So this is something we're familiar with. It's almost like a game of cat and mouse. Like they have to be able to answer the pressure on these side lanes. AP Bren, even with the minor lead that they have in space, they still have to manage it, right? Because it can quickly go in favor of Homeboys here if they're able to pull down some of this pressure. And that's why also you see Sepat putting himself there in the bottom lane, right? So the rest of this, it's kind of like Homeboys, they have to flip the mindset of, all right, let's protect Nets as much as possible. Let's keep him alive. Let him do what he needs to do. He does have that Purify. He's got some of the items that he needs now in this Claude. He should be scaled up really well. Look at this. Like, taking a look at the items here. On point, he's where he needs to be. Still building up. Most likely that Wind of Nature next. Grabs it as soon as I say. So now he's got it. That's great. Now he's matched up. He's still a little bit behind in terms of gold, but he's well matched up against Super Marco. Now that this next Lord is up here, Homeboys is actually in a good position. If they can pull this off, even possibly with a concealed play from Xorn, if they want to go that route, it could happen. You can see them. They're actually putting pressure in the space around this Lord already. And AP Bren has to respect it. They know exactly that. Nets is going to work on his turret. He's got to make sure he's fine. BMI's back. So still the push and pull here for the second Lord as both teams work on it. The shots, though, coming out from Pheww, they're going to have to be careful about that.
Not going to be any ultimates invested just yet. Just going to be coming out from Pheww just for Division Gaming. Lord's going to be reset here. Taking a lot of the damage there. Nobody's fully committing to all of these clashes, knowing that there's also pressures on the sides. But AP Bren, I actually want to close this out by taking this Lord Owgwen, going in that setup there. Turtle, or rather Lord though, 1/4 HP here. 1 more HP. Let's see if KyleTzy's going to be able to take it with the Retribution. Xorn's going to go down here. Super Marco still free hitting everyone though. And AP Bren might actually just reset there and actually take their time to pressure the side of Homeboys here. But, Homeboys, I like the attempt. There was some light there. They actually could have made some plays. But now AP Bren, this is where they're good at. They're going to be pressuring this mid tower. Second tier already down. Only the inhibitors left here.
Di atas cuy.
Oh, that's tough. Again, still going to be fighting it out. Chibi going to try to keep them at bay here. Nets as well with the rest of the team. They still have a little bit longer for Xorn to be up. Couple seconds here. They should be full forced, of course, by this time that AP Bren gets ready for this assault. So most likely, again, like we just saw from that last exchange, it was they approached it very well. Homeboys for a little bit looked like they had some control, and then AP Bren punished them, and it's still Super Marco having a massive game. So now Lord's here. It's going to go ahead and charge in.
Be knocking on the doors of
Brody ya
Homebois.
guys
Look
ya.
at the damage too coming out from Pheww from the backside,
Enak
poking
kali ya Bang
everyone.
Brody. Early
Before
game
they
enak,
shred
early
this
game
Lord,
enak.
Fred could actually go for the pressure here. Pressure in all of the lanes, knowing that Pheww is just at the backside to cover. KyleTzy going to be jumping in, soaking up all of the damage.
Udah botak dah ya.
HapyTzy not going to be investing that demonic
Dua
force
lane
just yet.
udah
There's a tug from
ada
Xorn, but it's not going to do
minion.
much as AP Bren just going to be backing away from
Minion
that one.
gede.
Yeah, they don't have to find it. I mean, for the most part, AP Bren, they're very objective-based right now. That's what they're thinking. They get the 2
Udah di
turrets.
up
They're
minionnya
most
guys ya.
likely going to get this third, too. It's only a couple hits away. And still, they might put the pressure to actually force the situation if they want to. Chibi already taking a couple
wow.
shots on the marks here.
Wah, dapat
Yeah,
lagi
a lot
cuy,
of
udah
damage
botak
coming
cuy.
out from Super Marco. Sepat trying to go for the backside. Goes for Bravest Spider, but he gets spotted
Udah
here
botak dah
by
cuy.
Super Marco and the rest of the gang. Xorn, HapyTzy just zoning
Gila,
everyone and
Brody.
still not getting taken down. Demonic Force is still
Gila,
up
Brody.
as he goes for more here. Minion waves are also crashing in here for the side of AP Bren. They might actually just go for the finish, but there's just a lot of heroes still
AP
up
Bren.
here for the side of Homebois. They might actually just reset here and try to go in for the next Lord.
Okay, they take
The
the discipline
next
route. They
Lord.
backed off. Sepat was the only one that went down, and I know we didn't get a good look at it, but there was a relatively a good
Atas
effort
sama
from
bawah,
Homeboys there,
bagus
and
sih.
it kind of split off also the team
Minionnya.
AP Bren from really trying to like
Minion
win
AP
that
Bren
fight
bagus.
through, and it's Super Marco. He still
sama
did
bawah.
not go down, but overall, Pheww was able to be very elusive, and he hasn't died, and that's why the Novaria is so strong with the way that her kit works and Super Marco. So it's like Homeboys. Your biggest thing is like, how do we find a pickoff? How do we actually get one of these targets locked in? And, at this point, too, Nets has the items that he needs. It's not really much of an itemization thing. It's like, how do we actually execute this and pull it
Brody
off?
Super Marco ya
And
guys
that
ya.
might come down to just going toe-to-toe with these Lord fights, right? Like, the next one is now up. We're nearly at the 17-minute mark. Homeboys has the items they need. It's like they just have to win this dance, and that's what they're going to get prepped and ready for. But Owgwen also waiting patiently there in the bush. Udil holding on to his own demonic force.
Udil.
Yep.
We'll see how they approach it. Lord going to be half health here. Super Marco also double buffed up. This is very crucial on how Homeboys tries to get in position here. Not sure if they're even going to be able to right now.
They're
HapyTzy
trying to,
also
though.
there. Yeah, they have to. So Chibi waiting patiently. He's done this multiple
Ada
times.
dua
Okay,
cuy.
goes in.
There's going to be
Mundur
the
kok,
pokes that are
balik
coming out
kok,
from
balik
Pheww
kok.
actually causing the rest of the homos to actually back away.
Dapat
Just
ya.
one wipeout can
Daya.
actually take them down. They don't have any inhibitors left, and that's going to be AP Bren
Bahaya cuy
securing
AP Bren.
in. I believe the second Lord of the
Masih
game
terlalu
actually here
bahaya
for the
dah ya
side.
AP
So
Bren ya.
without any inhibitors here, second enhanced Lord for the side of AP Bren, this can create a lot of pressure. But for the Homeboys, right, they have to find that pick off on the back lines. The only one that can actually do that at this point is Xorn with the nice setup, or Sepat. Actually,
Yeah.
you've seen him attempt on Super Marco and Pheww, but at this point, no inhibitors
Tengah.
left. They gotta focus
Tengah.
on defending their base here. They have the Lord for the side of AP Bren.
Yep, conceal already used here. They're going to get spotted out, though.
HapyTzy, he's gonna be using that demonic force up. Gonna keep it going. Look at the damage on the Chibi. Nice setup there by Owgwen. Everyone's
ente.
really low here from the side of Homebois. Appraiser's trying to take
Ente.
that sword. And from the backside, they're still dealing with that
Ada
demonic
dulu
force,
sih.
which is Udil.
Mati dia,
Not being
Udil.
able to make it. It's only Nets and Chibi left to
1-0.
defend. The Lord is still knocking in the base of Homebois, and that's gonna be
1-0
it. AP
to Ben.
Bren takes in game number 1.
Di game 1.